लोग, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल फ्रॉस्टबाइट 2.0। और गाइस, आज अपन हैरी रिटर्न्स वाली बुक कंटिन्यू करने वाले हैं। तो पता है, बहुत लंबा टाइम निकल गया है जब से मैंने कोई वीडियो बनाई है। ना मेरे माइनक्राफ्ट का, ना मेरे माइनक्राफ्ट वर्ल्ड की, ना मेरे नॉर्मल ऐसी स्टोरी टेलिंग की, ना कुछ की। तो गाइस, थोड़ा बिजी बिजी चलता है भाई। अभी ज़्यादा उम्र थोड़ी हुई, अभी स्कूल जाना रहता है मेरे को। तो वो तो ठीक है, पर आज टाइम मिला है तो सोचा आज वीडियो बना ही लेते हैं। भला सब कुछ पूरा हो ही चुका है। तो हाँ भाई, तो लास्ट बुक में हम कहाँ थे? तो लास्ट बुक, लास्ट वीडियो ने लास्ट बुक के एंड में क्या, लास्ट बुक में हमें हैरी के बारे में पता चला, मॉन्स्टर के बारे में पता चला, कैसे हैरी एक्चुअली हुमिली का दोस्त बनने का एक्ट करता है, पर हुमिल को वो बाद में धोखा दे देता है। और ये जो नई बुक है, इसके पहले जो चैप्टर हमने पढ़े हैं, थर्ड चैप्टर आपको दिख रहा होगा, विटी ओमनीपोटेंट सिटी। तो अब इसमें मैं क्या समझी दे सकता हूँ? इसमें मैं इतना ही बोल सकता हूँ कि जो हैरी था वो मरा नहीं, वो वापस आ गया है। और उमिली और उसका बेटा जैक, वो दोनों मतलब साथ में हैरी को वापस से मार देते हैं। पर ऐसा होने लगता है कि कुछ तो है। तो लेट्स रीड आगे। और पहले ही बोल रहा हूँ, वायलेंस स्टोरी है, वायलेंस स्टोरी है तो नहीं पढ़ना है तो ठीक है, पर लाइक किए बगैर मैं जाने नहीं दूंगा। तो let's continue reading. The reason behind it was because of a shadow. और हाँ, रीजन मतलब ये यहाँ पे ये जो कर्सर है ना, आई थिंक वी सेलिब्रेट टू अर्ली, तो इसका वो रीजन बिहाइंड दिस। तो ठीक है, the reason behind it was because a shadowy figure was trying to break my window. My son was in a different room, but I don't wanted to wake him up, so I dared to open my window. As I opened it, my body started to twist. I screamed, "Jack!" My son woke up and came in my room. "Dad, why were you twisting?" Jack screamed. I made a fireball in my palm and threw it out the window, but nothing happened. My son started to pull me, but he also started to twist. Before I said something, I and my son both flew out of the window. There was a portal in the air. We went through it. तो मतलब एक पोर्टल के अंदर ओमिली जाता है, रात का टाइम होता है, उसके पोर्टल के बाहर कुछ होता है, कोई ऐसा मतलब काली परछाई सी उसकी विंडो पे नॉक करती है। तो ओमिली और जैक अब उसमें जा रहे हैं। अब क्या ये हैरी का ट्रैप है या कहीं और जा रहे हैं वो लोग, वो तो चैप्टर में ही पता चलेगा। We were only screaming. It was very dark in there. We were just falling down and down. We weren't sure that we were going somewhere or we were trapped. I created a fireball and threw it down her, below her, but nothing happened. We were not knowing that what's happening. We were going down and suddenly we came out of the dark place. We saw a levitating city which was bright. We were falling down. We landed in the water. The pool of water was so big. The walls of the pool were made of gold. I didn't notice this, but the water in the pool was also of gold. We looked up and saw so many skyscrapers, even made of high diamond, gold, and emerald. We were very shocked. We knew where we were. Oh, नेक्स्ट लाइन पढ़ी ली होगी, पर what does this indicate about this omnipotent city? We are in omnipotent city. Next line. तो what is the significance of मतलब omnipotent city को शो कैसे किया? मतलब obviously रिच ही बोला होगा, जब पूल भी सोने का है, पानी भी सोने का है, स्काई स्क्रेपर है जो डायमंड और इन सब के बने हैं, तो basically significance is about rich, that this city is rich. We were in omnipotent city. My son and I were so stunned. We still couldn't believe that we were there. Omnipotent city. No way. I still wonder that why we were here. But I'll forget that. We decided to walk around the city. My son was not knowing the name of the city. He just learned about it. The paths in the road were also made of gold. I never knew that this city was too rich. There were so many weird looking people. We crossed a person head was of whose head was of a horse and body of a human. He was having very big muscles. He was wearing a white tunic and his body was a little bent. He looked towards us and smiled and continued to walk. I smiled at my son and we both continued to walk. So obviously यहाँ मेरा सिग्निफिकेंस सिटी की रिचनेस तो थी, सिटी के लोगों पे भी फोकस पड़ा मेरा कि एक्चुअली सिटी के लोग कैसे होते, ऑब्वियसली काइंड होंगे, जब उन्हें पता नहीं वो दोनों कौन थे, फिर भी स्माइल करके गया, तो काइंड लोग भी सिग्निफिकेंस है। और वो लोग मतलब वियर्ड लुकिंग थे, वो नॉर्मल नहीं दिख रहे थे, वियर्ड लुकिंग थे। We saw a house which was very peaceful. The house was having a garden. There was a tree and grass. From the door, a lady came with a really cute baby. She snapped her fingers and a bottle by which baby drank milk. But in the bottle there was no milk. There was something golden. Wait, golden? Is that a golden milk? What the flip? I love milk. Again, richness of this city is मैं वही इंडिकेट कर रहा हूँ कि ये सिटी बहुत रिच है, कि दूध भी सोने का दूध मिलता है यहाँ पे। तो मैं वही सिग्निफिकेंस बनाने की ट्राई कर रहा हूँ। I and Jack started to walk again. We saw many weird looking people. Some people with flying ability, some having a head of a bull but a body of lion, some with water manipulation and more. The best power I saw was of hair manipulation. Sound weird, but trust me, it was fascinating. One more power I saw was cloning yourself. Like literally, you can make your clone and just send it to a fight or something. You are just walking. तो इसमें ये जो पैराग्राफ है इसकी सिग्निफिकेंस थी कि लोगों का अपीयरेंस क्या है, सिटी में लोगों का अपीयरेंस पावर कैसी है, मतलब मैजिकल सिटी है तो मैजिकल है क्या वहां पे। We were just walking here and there and we heard a weird noise from our front. Suddenly we saw some flares of fire rising up from our front. I and Jack ran there. We ran and ran and ran. I used my fire rope to swing from the skyscraper. It was a long way, but we reached there. We saw things. Its head was a bull and chest of a lion and a leopard. His legs were a horse and his eyes were looking like an eagle. In simple words, he was a mixed animal. Not mixed fraction, mixed animal. He was blowing fire out of his mouth. तो जो लोगों ने मेरा लास्ट वो देखा होगा, लास्ट बुक के बारे में देखा होगा, उन सब लोगों को पता ही होगा। ये मिली और ट्रबल और डिस्ट्रक्शन, इसका रिलेशन तो है, मॉन्स्टर्स का रिलेशन है। तो मॉन्स्टर जहाँ भी मिली जाता है वहाँ मॉन्स्टर आ ही जाता है। My son turned to me and said, Dad, he is just a variant of a boar, but upgraded. We can defeat him. See, I'll go from the front and you go from the back around this skyscraper. I'll fight him. When I get tired, I'll make a firebird and I will throw it in the sky. You understand my signal and jump from the back. Then you hold its right arm, and I'll hold its left arm. And we'll chop its arms and then burn it. Good plan? It's a good plan. Let's go, I said cheering. Now I'll tell you the story in Jack's perspective. So instead of him, I'll write I. So if Jack is telling something, I'll not say that he is telling. Instead, I'll say I am telling something. Understood? If no, then read it again. Here we go. तो अब हुमिली का पर्सपेक्टिव चेंज हो गया जैक के पर्सपेक्टिव में। कह दिया एज अ परमानेंट बुक चेंज नहीं है, अभी एक पैराग्राफ में हो जाएगा। तो यहाँ पे उन्होंने प्लान बनाया कि वो जो एनिमल था, वो जो जो हाहाकार मचा रहा था, उसको हराने का प्लान ये था कि पहले जैक लड़ेगा, फिर जब अगर जैक नहीं हरा पाया, वो थक गया, तो वो सिग्नल भेजेगा उमिली को और फिर उमिली उन दोनों मतलब वो दोनों मिलके उसे डरा देंगे और खत्म। तो अब जैक जैक का पर्सपेक्टिव। Alarm from the top. I was quite scared to fight a monster for the first time. I reached I I reached down and created a fireball in my hand. As the creature noticed me, I threw my fireball on him. He was barely burned. I created a fire rope and wrapped it around its waist. It started to run. It was very fast. After like 2 seconds, he stopped, but he wrapped me by my own rope. He started to blow fire from his mouth. I was trapped, so I made a firebird and threw it in the sky. Hopefully my dad gets it. ओ ये खत्म हो गया हमारे प्यारे जैक का पर्सपेक्टिव। अब वापस हमें लिखा। Now it's time for my perspective. I saw the bird, then saw down. Jack was completely wrapped in fire. I was at the other end as my son told me. I jumped down and made a fire punch and punched the creature. His back burned. Then he turned at me and started to blow fire out of his mouth. My son was now free, so he created a fire rope and wrapped around the creature's waist. He pulled it. Then I created a fireball in my hands and threw it on his face. His face got burned, so I grabbed his right arm and Jack held his left arm. It was trying to escape us, but we both grabbed him tight. I pressed my fingers too hard in his palm that it peeled. तो अब उमिली के पर्सपेक्टिव में उमिली जैक के वहां जाता है और ठीक है, और चैप्टर खत्म होने वाला। After some time we got tired. We can't let it go. We were about to chop his arm, but a flash stabbed through his chest. It died for sure. We slammed it on the ground and turned back. We saw something or the heart of this omnipotent city. Damn. तो अब ये चैप्टर 3 खत्म हो गया। चैप्टर 4 शुरू करेंगे हम। तो इसमें मतलब होमली और जैक omnipotent सिटी चाहते हैं, और omnipotent सिटी में उनकी फाइट होती है एक मॉन्स्टर के साथ। और उस फाइट में वो मॉन्स्टर को मतलब कंट्रोल में लाते हैं, पर वो उसे मार नहीं पाते। और फिर कुछ देर बाद एक क्या बोल सकते हैं, फ्लैश को क्या बोल सकते हैं, एक रोशनी जैसा कुछ उसके छाती से गुजरा, निकला, और वो गया, मॉन्स्टर गया। और वो कौन था? वो था ओमनीपोटेंट सिटी का दिल। होमिन्यू किसे रेफर कर रहा है? इट was Zeus. We met different gods, chapter 4. और Zeus, जो गॉड ऑफ लाइटनिंग Zeus है, वो है। He was staring at us. His hair was golden. He was wearing a gold chestplate and had a lightning symbol on it. His eyes were blue. "We are here," said Zeus. "You were waiting for us?" I asked. "Come with me. I'll explain it to you," he replied. I nodded my head. Zeus straightened his arm, and the thing which pierced the monster's chest. It was a lightning bolt. Zeus's weapon. It was zigzag in shape, and it was looking so cool. As Zeus straightened his hand, a lightning bolt flew towards him, and he grabbed it. He said it sheathed it on his back and said, "Come on, follow me." Jack and I followed him. He was traveling past various different people. Then he stopped and said, "Wait, before we go in my castle, we should take different cards. So here is the castle of Thor, god of thunder." I was so stunned that I'll meet different gods. Jack was very happy. We went inside Thor's castle. From outside it seemed like headquarters. It was blue and there was lightning crackling all over the top. Zeus opened the gate of the castle and went in. We also followed him. We saw many walls with weird languages. We also saw Thor's Mjolnir. It was shattered in few pieces. It was rested on a cushion. It was upside down and it was covered with glass. I wanted to ask Zeus about the ball, but I was so scared. तो यहाँ पे थॉर की कैसेट का मतलब डिफरेंट गॉड से मिल रहे ना, ये तो थॉर का कैसल में ये लोग जाते हैं और ये सब चीजें देखते हैं. These walls have really old ancient language, said Zeus. How? I can read mine. And don't scare. Be chill. I'm your friend. He said. What? Jack and I were so stunned that we started to cry. Zeus, a god called me his friend. Really? There are so many stairs to Thor's throne. A few minutes later, we reached to his throne. I got stunned after I saw him. He was wearing his blue and gold armor with his golden helmet with his cape and his stormmaker beside him. His eyes were blue. He stood up and walked toward Zeus. As Zeus, what is wrong? Thor asked. These are the humans which we needed, Zeus replied. Oh, okay, Thor said. Hey marshmallows, follow us. We need different gods, Thor said us. Thor straightened his arms and Stormbreaker flew towards Thor. Thor. Thor held it in air and started to fly. तो ये जो थॉर ने लाइन बोले ना, हे मार्शमेलोस फॉलोअर, मतलब कि थॉर अच्छा इंसान है और मतलब फनी जोक इंसान है। और थॉर थॉर हो गया, ज़्यूस हो गया और गॉड बाकी है। We climbed downstairs and came out of Thor's castle. Thor was flying above us. We followed Thor to the next destination. Zeus said, our next god is Loki. Loki, Loki, god of illusion. Isn't Loki a villain? In the movie he is a villain, but in Omnipotent City he is a god, shouted Thor from up. Loki is my brother, by the way, said Zeus. Marvel showed up something else, and something else is going on in Omnipotent City. Loki, God, oh my God. ठीक है, तो ये सिंपल सिंपल ही बातें हैं कि, और हाँ मैं पहले पहले ही बोल रहा हूँ, ओमनीपोटेंट सिटी जैसा रियल कुछ नहीं होता, तो वो बात है। It was taking ages to reach Loki's castle. We were walking too much. There's a benefit to Thor, he can fly. So if he is sleeping he can reach Loki's castle. I can use a wire rope to swing around the city to go to Loki. You can do it, says Zeus. Really? I asked. I can also fly, but you people will then get tired. You are not knowing about your power, said Zeus politely. Like Jack and I created a fire up and both started to swing. Meanwhile, Zeus took his lightning bolt, went in a squat position and straightened his hand. The lightning bolt shone brighter and brighter. Zeus threw the bolt in the air and he started to fly. I like the way of Zeus take off. Thor said, we are there. Finally, we reached Loki's castle. Loki's castle was shaped in a form of his golden helmet, with two horns on the both corner and a T-shaped part in the mid-front of the helmet. The weird thing about the castle is that it was flying in the air. Zeus and Thor landed down and walked towards the door. At first first, there was no door, but he walked towards the helmet and he went in. What? I asked Thor. What if there isn't a door? Then how can Zeus went in? There is a sheet on Loki's castle. It stops monsters. Or like all the beings who came with negative atmosphere contact with the replied Thor. I was not able to believe this. How cool is the omnipotence? We will talk everything in Loki's castle. But there are a few gods remain. I bring them. Both can go in. Thor smiled at us. Thor flew away, and Jack and I went in. We both were able to go in the sheet. As we entered, we saw many statues of Loki moving. It was scary. We saw the carpet that was not a carpet, a glass pipe. Under it was a monster. There were so many statues of Loki moving and waiting up the monster. It's cruel. तो द क्या बोल रहा हूँ, मतलब लोकी हो गया, थॉर हो गया, ज़्यूस हो गया, और ओमनिपोटेंट सिटी की मैजिकल मैजिकल जो मैजिकल ऑरा है, मैजिकल एटमॉस्फेयर है, उसे डिस्क्राइब करने में यहाँ मैंने डिटेल लगाई। तो यहाँ पे डिटेल ये है कि ओमनिपोटेंट सिटी के कासल में ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी है कि तुम अंदर तभी जा सकते हो, ठीक है, तुम अंदर से भी जा सकते हो जब तुम्हारे कोई नेगेटिव एनर्जी नहीं हो तो जा सकते हो, वरना नहीं जा सकते। नहीं, पॉजिटिव एनर्जी वाले लोग ही जा सकते हैं, नेगेटिव एनर्जी वाले लोग जा ही नहीं सकते। तो इसका मतलब अगर गॉड चाहते हैं, मतलब अगर ऐसे अभी मैंने मेंशन किया थॉर का मेन, थॉर के मेन में क्या है, अगर वहां भी शील्ड है जो मैंने डिस्क्राइब नहीं की पर होगी, शायद मैंने सोचा होगा, पर थॉर के भी कैसल में शील्ड नहीं, शील्ड होगी। तो थॉर का जो वेपन है म्योलनेर, अगर हैरी अंदर गया तो वो म्योलनेर को उठा के गलत काम कर सकता। अब ये मत बोलना कि वर्दी नहीं है, कौन हैरी वर्दी नहीं है, वो वर्दीनेस की अभी बात नहीं की, अभी जो है वो है, ठीक है। We saw the staircase. We went up. One thing that scared me a lot is that the stairs were disappearing randomly. We were afraid that we will fall down and reach in the pit where the monster was beaten. Then we suddenly reached near a throne. It was very dark in there. We were very scared. Suddenly lights came in and Zeus and Loki jumped in front of us. I said, "Surprise!" Jack and I were scared, but then we laughed with them. Loki snapped his finger and Loki disappeared. Loki disappeared. Then a screeching noise echoed through the whole room. Everything turned dark. Zeus laughed and said, "Enough! Ah, enough, Loki." Oh, so Loki is just trying to fool. Oh, that's why he is god of illusion. Thor also came with the remaining god. He told me the names of each god. One was Kor, the god of stone. One was Mimic, the god of pitch. One was Hail, the god of ice. And the last one was Mick, Mike, Mick, Mike Jovier, god of music. They all had different powers. Kor can manipulate the size of stone. Could also he could control stones according to him. He can change his sound, or he can increase or decrease the pitch of anything. He can control ice, coldness of things. The reason I said that he is the god of ice is because I know he is very pro in controlling ice. And you might know what Mick does. Obviously, he can manipulate music. Now we'll know that why we were here. Jack was speechless that he came in omnipotent city. Even I am, but I should know the reason that why we are here. So, yes, after 5 we came to know about Harry's intention. और ये कितना बड़ा है, रिटर क्वेश्चन चैप्टर 6 स्पॉइलर है पर ठीक है। मतलब नेक्स्ट एपिसोड में हम बाकी के चैप्टर्स पढ़ के खत्म करेंगे। सब नहीं, 5, 6 या 7 होगा तो वो भी देख लेंगे। तो दिस बुक इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग इफ यू आस्क मी, क्योंकि मुझे तो एंजॉय हो रहा है अभी तक। वीडियो पसंद आई है तो लाइक करना, चैनल पे न्यू हो तो सब्सक्राइब करना। बाय बाय।